Hi, it's me again, Kevin. I'm going to take you today on a little journey trying to find journal articles. Okay, so let's have a look. This is the main website. I'll go down and sign in like you'll sign into the students. I'll sign in here. Okay, so this is going to bring us up to the main web page. And what you need to do here, I'm looking at the library system today, right? I know you can look at Google, that's fine, but I like to be able to see what's in the library because there's often some good stuff there. All right, so let's have a look. University Library, there we go. Click on it. Opens up. And here we go, we're at the main library website. Now I know you can search here in what we call the simple search by putting terms in, but actually I'm not going to start off that way. I'm going to start off a different way. Alright, then we'll come back to this. The way I'm going to start is by looking at this one here, A to Z of eJournals. Okay, so just trust me for now. Click on it. That's a left click. And it brings you up here all of the journals which Northumbria subscribes to. Now this means that you should be able to get the PDFs. You shouldn't have to pay for them. Alright? And I like it as well because it's a good way to start to find the journals in your area once you've got the names of a few journal titles. Alright, so let's think what we're doing. We're looking at British Army, we're looking at military. I have a fair bet that Northumbria, because I'm new to Northumbria, right now I'm from Sunderland. I've got a fair bet that Northumbria must have military kind of journals. So what I'm going to be putting in here is military. I'll just put in military here. And all of the journals which have got military in the title should come up. I'll click the search button. Right, so we've actually got 50 results which have got military somewhere in the title. Now, I'll leave you to look through some of these yourself, but for now, let's just go down to this one here. See, I've got that one there. It's military psychology. Now, I know a lot of you are doing leadership sort of things. Well, leadership's a psychology sort of subject, isn't it? So this might be quite good. Let's have a look. I'll click on it here, to left click. And we'll see what it brings up. It's going through the motions. So expect a little bit of this. Don't be worried about this. It just takes a little time sometimes. But once you're in, right, and you'll see here, there's two places I can get it from, either the EBSCO or the site articles. I'll tell you, EBSCO's good, right? With full text, that's what you want. You want full text so you can actually download. So this is great. This is exactly what you want. Left click on that. Ah, great. You'll see here, this is the actual title of the journal. And you'll see, actually, it doesn't go to the most recent date. If we'd noticed earlier, we'd noticed it went to 2012. And after that, they stopped subscribing. But still, 2012, not too long ago, we can probably still get some good stuff from there. Right, obviously, other ones will go to 2018, which is great. All right, now then. You could just look at, well, let's just have a look in here. 2012. We'll just expand it. You see, there's different volumes. Okay, let's just look at the top volume, just to give you an idea. Right. So you'll see here, this is like reading a copy of the journal. You'll notice it doesn't actually start at page 1. This one starts at page 513 because it's continuing on from the previous one. But these particular articles here, there's 9 of them. They would appear in a particular hard copy journal. the sort here would pick up in our library. Now, you see there, I'm just going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Now, oh, quite a lot on suicide. Right, so if any of you are doing that, that's a tricky one for the ethics, I would have thought. But if you were doing that, obviously, this will be one to pick up. Right, but if we went back to the this one here is talking about post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms, but you'll notice you've got the PDF. You should click straight into that and get it. Let's do it. Okay, I'll just click on that one just to show you. Come on. And so you don't have to pay for it. It'll just appear. And there you go. And here it's appeared. So that's it there. I would usually download this. So I'd actually download that. So if you click that, that'll download it as a PDF. And you can save it to your memory stick or what have you if it's an important one. There's also another button on the side here which says export. That's if you want to maybe save it as a reference. Okay, so maybe we'll come back to that later. Okay, but it shows you here you can definitely get the articles, and if you went to the end of the article as well, it's going to have a whole bunch of references, and you'll be able to find other things from there, a bit like being a detective, if you like. Okay, so that's great. You can print it out as well. Come away with lots of things to print it out, and you can write all over them. Right. So what you're trying to do for your assignments is to find good articles, journal articles in particular. Of course, you can always get books from the Northumbria Library, and you know, for things like your research methods and things like that, definitely get a book. You know, and you've got those in your reading lists. Okay, but this is for things which are probably more specific. All right, let's just go back we'll go back to result list. That brings us back to there. In fact, I'll go back again to what it was when we first went in. Right, I'm just going to show you what it would come up with. Is it going to take us back? Might have to go back again. I'm just trying to get you back to what it will do at the beginning. Right, this is this. Right. You'll see here, search within this publication. Now, a lot of EBSCO kind of journals have got this. And this is very useful. I mean, obviously you can look through all the titles and the individual titles of these and have a good browse. And that's not bad. I mean, you might be lucky. Occasionally you get particular issues which focus on one particular thing. All right. But if you want to be more systematic, you click on this, search within this publication, and that was up before if you remember. But you've got here the journal, and then it's got the little military psychology. I'm just going to take it along with my cursor. Right. Now, you can either add stuff on the end or you can put something in here. Okay, so it says and. Well, I'm going to put leadership. All right. You can do other things, as you'll find out later. You can put dates and all sorts of things in, but I'm going to put that, and I'm just going to do search. So it should find everything in that journal with leadership in the titles. So you can see, yes, it's the military psychology. It's all the same journal, but you see they've got things to do with leadership. And there's the PDFs. Great. That's exactly what you want. Okay. Okay, I'm just going down the list here. I know that a few people were looking at turnover of staff, people leaving the army or what have you. This one here is a Canadian one. So you're talking about turnover. and commitment. Now, it doesn't have to be British Army. You'll find me, you should try to, because the people in writing in here are theorists and academics and military people. There's likely to be, for one thing, some literature given at the beginning, which will be applicable to you, and also their situations. See, there's got PDF full text. So again, I mean, this is just like something you might start to look at. You'll see here, there's the title of the journal, which we know, but it gives you the issue and how you're going to find it, and the date. It's 2010. The title, who wrote it, and clearly you look at who wrote it, because that's the ideas of credibility coming in here. There's usually a bit at the beginning. This is called an abstract, this first little bit. You might actually say abstract. Doesn't here, but it is. And it tells you in a nutshell what the study is about. You see, this was a one on Canadian forces. It was a big one. They actually looked at 1,443 people. So that's been a questionnaire, I would have thought. And they're looking at transactional leadership, and the other one, of course, is transformational leadership. Again, I know some people are looking at that. So this is all very useful. You'll see at the beginning there's some sort of like literature review, blah 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 blah, and you can look at these at the back, and you get more of an idea. So this is a good place to sort of start. Right. Let's leave that one there. I'm now going to go back to the result list. So just click on the top there. It brings you back to those ones. There were some interesting ones actually, which I found just in this journal. So, for instance, number 10, this one here about intelligence and dominance and masculinity. I think you might recall, well, I certainly recall Ian Stoughton talking about trait theory and saying, yeah, trait theory is an old kind of thing. In fact, here you'll see that trait theory isn't completely dead. People are still looking at, are there certain characteristics about leaders which will promote better leadership, characteristics inherent in the individual, as opposed to a leadership style which is sort of doing the right sorts of things, right behaviours. That's quite interesting. And also this idea about masculine. I mean, I don't know what they mean by masculinity. That's something you might want to look at. And again, I know that some of you are looking at the role of women in the military. So this would be interesting to sort of look at. It's American. It's dated a bit, and I think things do change. What's the date here? 2008, 10 years ago. But it was quite interesting to read, and they actually didn't find that many differences on this masculinity thing. Okay, I'm just looking further down the list again. I go to the next page. Okay, was number 14. There's something here. Some of you are looking at personality and how that affects recruitment and things like this. This 5-factor model is something you might want to think about. It seems to be coming in now to replace there was another model, which is the Myers-Briggs model. Okay, MBTI it's called. So that's something interesting there. And another one, I think some of you again involved in training. That's an interesting one, about risk and safety attitudes amongst conscripts during compulsory military training. And again, they've all got PDFs and things like that. Right, so I mean, we've just looked at one journal here. You can look at some of the other journals under that military title, and again, you might get some things which are relevant to you.
Now clearly you might